I believe the Freo fans have turned on Richo, the most popular man in the history of the game.
No, they weren't too. They were just applauding his work.
Supporting cast.
It was all good-natured stuff, Den. Don't worry about that. A bit of fun.
Richo, I thought they were undecided. Swinging bones down there. Win them back. Start of the second half. Went down by Sandilands into the path of Hill. Ricochets across to Fife. 19 possessions now. Pearce, who's been good as well. Daniel Pearce. Driving kick inside the forward 50. Clark got a fist on it. Tippett leads in the race, but quite content to see it go out of bounds.
And that's well done by Clark, because as a big forward, and if that's where he's going to play, he was outnumbered and he made sure that the ball came to ground, and it did, and now they have a stoppage inside forward 50.
So Sandilands to take control here. It doesn't get that far. Crowley to Mundy. That's one way to get a disposal, I guess, for the Taggers. Zeeble ends up with the football, and the kick from Gibson off half-back. Tough one. Petrie down around his ankles. There is Harvey. Gets away this time. Gets the booze as well. Nahas, number 28, the Guernsey worn by Andrew Demetrio at North Melbourne. Ball back to Gibson, Cunnington, and then the kick from Zeeble in the door direction. It got over door and then over the line with Thomas.
That's going back a bit, Baz. Andrew Demetrio, number 28.
I was going to ask you, you would know, is he the most famous number 28 in North Melbourne history, Wayne?
I think there's a guy called Anthony Dwyer that wore it for a little while. I'm not sure he was so famous, but a famous name at the Kangaroos, certainly.
Tossed in. Sandilands knocks it down. Fife again. Taken down. Just paddles it forward. Hill. Been well held tonight. Well held there. Sutcliffe. Quick hands away. Mazungu. McFarlane finds himself in space. A little too nimble for Drew. Comes back inside. Main takes the mark. Alongside the centre circles. Goes down towards half forward. Padlich. Strong mark. Thought of the idea of going. Reimer was overcommitted. Now man onto the outer side. Then he goes to Sutcliffe, who pushed up the ground, but he's brought to a halt. Now that's an interesting kick. Split the difference between Dorr and Fife. Fife has played the game longer. Oh, Johnson. Must be a free kick to Gibson.
Played that well, North Melbourne. Lockie Hanson's the free man in the defensive 50 for the Kangaroos, and was just able to position himself to put enough doubt in the Fremantle players' minds not to kick the ball to him.
Terrible kick by Gibson, and the umpire paid the mark, even though the mark was dropped by Johnson. So it's all just unravelled here a little bit. Hill kicked towards the middle, and this man always does things well. Mundy with the footy. Middle of the ground, Mazungu is on. Also De Boer. Mazungu one-handed. Good grab. He looks upfield. Pearce is on. Main has space to lead into. Crozier as well, but in the end he goes for the tallest targets, but that's a very good mark. Grimer, well done.
Confident mark, that one. Ghosting across in front of the pack. Grimer. Self-effacing customer, sends it towards the outer side. Good sense of humour. The mark is taken out there by Ferrito. Saw him somewhere recently, Grimer, being interviewed. Funny guy. Ferrito kicks a high one up towards the wing. Reaching over the top, Dawson. Crowley clatters into Thomas. Grabbed by Spur, who proceeds to kick it out of bounds on the full.
Match up inside 50 for North at the moment. Madjack Dorr on Johnson. Madjack's just getting caught in no man's land, and Johnson will just sift off and rebound all day long. He just needs to get himself at the dangerous position, Madjack.
So Ferrito with the free kick, and Cunnington, that was a strong mark with Spur. Del Santo cruising by. Spur kept going, back to Cunnington. Here they come now, North inside 50. Not a good kick, and Heel just peels off, and easy as you like on his chest.
Yeah, he's really good in the second half of that second quarter. Stephen Hill after a very slow start. Just watching Madjack do it. It seems his best way of learning the game is almost as a follow ruck. Just get around and understand where the ball goes, as opposed to being a key forward, because Richo's right, just getting lost and not providing a key target for the Kangaroos.
Hill to Duffield to McFarlane, and now Sutcliffe. So they've moved the ball. Well, they've moved it nowhere really now. Back to Duffield. Back pocket when he kicks. This is better. Johnson on defensive 50. Crozier is on. He marks in front of Ferrito. Now he looks upfield. Main is on. Through the middle of the ground, Mundy. Does he spot him? Yes, he does. Cunnington did well, but didn't keep his feet, so Mundy did better. Now goes long. Pavlich is the target. Grimer there with him. The kick was wide of both.
They've been very good, the Kangaroos. They've been able to set up defensively and get that loose player. Fremantle a little bit sloppy to start this quarter, and a few, I guess, basic fundamental errors.
You've got to use the ball really well when there's a spare player the opposition's defensive 50.
Sandilands, Mundy, there's danger. Crowley puts it across his body. Neil has to wait. Peeling off and doing very well was Atley. Able to knock it away, sensing the danger. Still he goes. Didn't have the football, surely. Gets a free kick.
Time off.
Speedster across half-back.
Stay there.
It's a weapon. Thinks about going all the way back to Zeeble and does. Not much on offer on the other side, though, so Zeeble may well return fire here. Tippett's on. Just creeping in behind those forwards pressing up for Fremantle. So Joel Tippett doesn't look that comfortable making the decision here, so just sends a long ball towards the wing. Petrie in front. McFarlane reaches over the top. Neil tries to flick it out. Spur. Crowley. Hot one for Fife. Crowley comes again. Back to Fife. See, that's a dangerous kick, but a beautiful one. And he finds Johnson right on the defensive 50. Johnson racking up the possessions again. And he's working Dorr over at the moment. He rushes from him. Leads to the outer side. The kick didn't do him any favours. Dorr closed and punched it away. No pun intended.
Closing door.
It was better work there from Magic. I mean, it's counterintuitive, but as a key forward, he should use Michael Johnson as a starting point, because Michael Johnson's going to go where the football's going to go. So if he provides some representation for North and makes a one-on-one contest, that's the best result.
So it was an 8-point ball game at half-time. It's an 8-point ball game with a little over 6 minutes played in this third term. Interesting there, Ferrito into the back of Pavlich. Atley mopping up at the back. Harvey required to help him out, and they've worked it out okay. Adams, Grimer, Adams again. Eventually the footy is okay. Hansen it was to Harvey. Now Adams with the footy in the middle of the ground. Lead is on from Petrie. One of the rare times he's got space on McFarlane. He's marked on half forward. Kick not great. Dawson up in front, waiting down Greenwood. There a chance here, North. Zeeble over the football, back to Greenwood. He keeps going. He got his kick away. And he hit the behind. He hit the post. Gee, unlucky. That was good desperation. 7-point ball game. North, they keep on coming.
That was better positioning by Magic. He stayed at full forward, and that allowed Petrie to hit up to half forward, and then Black was the next target, kept Johnson in the goal square.
Greenwood deserved better. That's a dangerous kick coming out too. Harvey, clever. It was interesting too. Gives it across to Zeeble, and Zeeble doesn't punish the Dockers. Sloppy game now. Neither side taking their chances. Both have had them. Fremantle attacked for a while at the other end. Didn't make much of it. Now it's North's turn. Admittedly, Greenwood, a great effort. Denied by the post. Short one to the pocket. This is Spur. 44 plays 38. Fremantle really under pressure in this game now. Oh dear. Marred by errors this third term and a boundary throw-in.
Well, they just don't know where to go, Fremantle, because the Kangaroos are one-on-one all over the ground. And whenever they look up, there's a Kangaroo player within 5 metres of a Docker player.
Well, they really should be in front here, North. They've kicked 2 goals, 6 to the right end of the ground. Del Santo out of the pack to make it a all-square ball game. It is. Scores a tide.
That was silky, wasn't it? Del Santo just finding a way through where there didn't appear to be one. A little shimmy. We've seen it all before. Del Santo having a good night. He's up to 19 possessions now.
Quality finish there from Nick Del Santo. Wayne, just thinking about Fremantle, what are they, apart from just composure, is there anything structurally or matchup wise you think they need to do?
I don't think there's anything structurally, Tom. I think it seriously is a case of decision making. Right now, their skills have really dropped away and they're just making really poor decisions. I mean, when they get the ball like they are now through the middle of the ground, it's now when they go forward, this long kick is where they're letting themselves down.
Duffield, the high ball inside the 50. Ferrito with venom came strongly. Nahas, Del Santo, Gibson alongside the centre circles to half forward, going back Dawson, and that arm got over the shoulder. Black will get the free kick about 60 metres out. Now, he's a powerful kick. Not beyond him, Black. Well, he doesn't think about it. He comes out wide. Adams goes down the line, bounces in front of Gibson, hard against the boundary. That's an ambitious kick from there. It's working back, but not enough. But it gives them the lead.
And that's the difference between the two sides right now. All of a sudden, Black finds himself in a one-on-one contest in their forward line. Fremantle unable to find that.
Spur to Crowley under pressure. Spur gets it back, kicks towards Main. Attlee's got the pace here. Gets there first. North Melbourne. They've kicked the last 3 goals of this ball game to take the lead, as Dennis said. Good work from Grimer. They're using players through the middle of the ground. Hansen, Attlee, and now Ferrito's kick is spot on, and the mark taken by Greenwood. Inside the centre circles. Well, I'm not sure that Fremantle saw this coming. They knew that North were hanging tough. And I think they felt they had the answers. Kick, not a good one. And Fife just into the space, marks on his chest.
Yeah, that's a poor decision there by Levi Greenwood. Fife knows where the ball's going to go, but it has been North Melbourne's ballistic play. They're sharing the ball around with hand. They've actually had more hand passes than kicks this evening, but playing a bit more unpredictably than they have perhaps in the past, and certainly from the start of the game.
Greenwood did well, punching the Sutcliffe kick towards the boundary. Crozier gave it to Main, to Mzungu. They're lacking ground speed down here. That's another thing that's missing in this team. Some big guys competing for the football. No real Walters or Ballantyne speed. Now Pavlich gets it back, goes short inside the forward 50. Neal beaten by Ferrito. It'll be coming back though. Mundy tracks it towards the wing, draws Dorr in, goes to Johnson, a little untidy, back to Mundy. They've got the spare man. This is him, McFarlane, wants to clear the man on the mark and get it on, and now it's 50.
You mentioned the small players, Dan. One move that perhaps they may think about doing Fremantle is Daniel Pearce playing permanently forward, because you're right that they can get to half forward, but there's just no energy across the half forward line. And he's a proven ball winner in the front half. He's just come onto the ground, so we'll see where he goes.
And as we said, he's got a bit of pace, and he's been kicking goals this season, Daniel Pearce. Here's Attlee, nicely done. Bastanak, hard against the boundary line, clears the zone. Courage shown by Greenwood, fisted away by Duffield, taken by Clancy Pearce. In trouble, Dawson. Well done, Petrie. Strong tackle, Clancy Pearce fires it inside the forward 50. Pavlich. Oh, he stretched every sinew. The captain.
At least that was a better entry. They've got into at least 20 to 25. They've been going in really shallow in this third quarter.
That's a terrific mark. They're virtually straight up.
But still relying on a pretty special effort to take the mark. 3 on 2 also.
It's a clever little block from Main, wasn't it? Just not to allow that third man up, so Pavlich got a one-on-one contest.
That's 13 goals for the season now. And he steers it through. Much needed goal. Fremantle regain the lead. And that's so athletic, Matthew Pavlich. As we said, approaching 300 games, and still that ability to go straight up. Stretching the fingers, separating the fingers. It was purely textbook.
I'm not sure we've seen a player like Matthew Pavlich play our great game. He's been all Australian, fullback, centre half back, centre half forward, on ball. I mean, he's just about been all Australian in every position.
And interesting last week, Wayne, when you put your 5 power forwards, you left him out of it, just showing his versatility over all parts of the ground.
He's just played everywhere.
He needs 3 games for 300, and he needs 3 goals for 600, and here he is. He might only need 2 after this. He sends it back towards Main. How will it bounce? Perfectly for Main, into the goal square, and they get 2 in a row.
Really important goal there for Chris Main. He is probably the missing player when you're talking about the form of Fremantle 2013 and 2014. He's had some injury concerns with his ankle, I think, his lower leg, and hasn't been able to get the consistency in form, but he does require a good defender to play on him. He knows where to find the ball, and if he can get up and going in the second half of the year, or the last 3 quarters of the year, that's the key for Freo. Really sharp there by Matthew Pavlich. I mean, he's a leader of this football club in so many ways. Every momentum shift generally centres around the captain.
Zeeble digs it out of the middle, jams it on the boot towards the outer side. Harvey put the body in. Hill, slick hands, heard the voice. Petrie runs down Mzungu. Free kick, North Melbourne.
Right there.
Petrie arriving quickly with attitude, sends it long inside the forward 50, barely.
Push.
And I think this will go to Thomas.
Yep.
There's a chain reaction. Lindsay Thomas has got this ball right on the 50. Man on the mark, standing on the numbers. It's not beyond it.
Hand was on the back. I'm not sure how forceful the push was.
29 free kicks now. Halfway through the third term. Thomas. 52 metres out. Just missing left. Strong kick though. 53 goals last season. Quality player. Bear in mind he had the yips a couple of seasons back. Just couldn't buy a goal. Ross Lyon seems in pretty good spirits in there. Back-to-back goals will do that. Here's Crowley.
Been quiet tonight though, Thomas. Just 6 disposals, and that was his first score of the night behind. Here's Johnson. Got it from Crowley. Uses Sutcliffe. Hits the 50 with a bounce. Can go again. Harvey getting close. It's a looping ball over the top. Spurs got some work to do. Gave away a free kick there.
Well done.
Advantage.
Advantage is paid. Now Thomas, well, he was away and then he pulled up. It's worked out okay. They worked it through McDonald and then around the body. The kick is okay. Forward down towards full forward. Cunnington marks it. Came from Adams. Cruising by now. Bastanak goes inside. Here's Nahas kicking out of bounds on the full. And the CEO of the AFL says, well, I'm not happy with that.
Suggesting you would have kicked that better, Baz, eh?
Now, what did Robbie do there? Did he cramp up? I think he might have as he kicked. McFarlane, meantime, goes close to the boundary. Thomas could have been pushed again. Ball trickles out of bounds. Throw in. Fremantle by 10 points.
It's a bit of a worrying sign if you're cramping halfway through the third quarter.
It is.
Who have they got as their sub? McKenzie, handy ball winner.
Harvey, look at that. Acceleration through the curve, if you don't mind. Athlete. That's patented. The 1-2 with Harvey and now Del Santo. Del Santo with the man on the mark on the line of the square. Low trajectory, fired in like a bullet. Cunnington lunging forward takes the mark. A step ahead of Mundy. Tireless, this young man.
Well, you would think that he's too far out to score, so you'd want to put this either to the top of the square or it's going to be spoiled through.
Yeah, no point.
Four
Having a long point is there.
It's one of those guys that's got a slow kick too. It sort of hangs in the air before it comes down. You'll never know. He hangs it out to the right. It falls virtually straight down. Pierce, Greenwood, 10 metres in from the boundary under pressure. Centres it anyway. Cunnington again in the action. Well played on his knees. Spurs got it. Del Santo got him. Put him down. Crunch to the outer side. Hansen. Ball runs away from him. Hansen trying to keep it in. That was clever. Mullet's got it. A step in from the boundary line now. Goes down towards half forward. Bastanak. Fisted away by Johnson. Beats Zeeble across the line. It really is a tug of war at the moment. Fremantle, thanks to those 2 goals. One that Pavlich kicked, the other he orchestrated, are up by 10 points.
With just over 6 to play, Dan. Free kick for Zach Clark in the ruck. Holding on from Goldstein. So Clark to Pavlich. He's hot at the moment, the Pav. He roved that brilliantly. Look at that give to Mundy. No one inside 50. So Mundy will keep going. He's got Sanderland short. It's no good for Sanderland's there, that's for sure. Grimer got away from the outstretched arm of the giant ruckman. And the kick into the middle of the ground to Zeeble is okay. And he made sure of it with De Boer closing with a leg coming up. Can be dangerous, that. Zeeble short to Harvey. Now Del Santo. Great grab. Arms out in front. Five. He was stretching. Here comes Boomer Harvey. 2 bounces. He can just about kick a goal. Gets to 55. He sends it long. Oh, it hits the post. They've done that a couple of times tonight. And Harvey, isn't he, having some sort of game now? 28 disposals.
He was tagging 101. Failed there by Tendai Mzungu. Just let Harvey. Everyone knew what Harvey was going to do and get the ball round the back, but he defended on the wrong side and let off the hook there, Freo.
No doubt down here at ground level, though, it's just starting to open up a bit this game. This last few minutes, the game's open up more than it has been for the whole 3 quarters nearly.
North Melbourne well represented in that pack. 3 of them up. Ball stayed in. Crozier hacks it forward. All lucky. Mundy's got it back to Crozier. Runs to outside the 50. Just lobs it inside the 50. Missed by Subban. Confronting him is Tippett. Nice hand pass. Pavlich just lays it off to Mundy. Mundy lowers the eyes to the middle. Fife. Difficult mark. Almost took it but didn't. Now he's claimed by Del Santo. Oh, the two of them just oozing class in that grapple about 40 metres out from goal.
Tommy Sheridan has the best off down here. He's running along the boundary line, warming up. We're just waiting to see who's going to come off the ground and be subbed out of the game.
Good on you, Richo. What about that attempt to mark from Fife? He did the full revolution and almost got it on the second attempt. Well done by Sandilands. Speaking of second attempts, down to Pearce. He kicks towards full forward. There's a free kick. The advantage is paid. It comes out to Gibson.
Identifying the run, I reckon it'll be Zach Clark who might be subbed off here for Freo.
It was Grimer that won the free. Black, one-handed. He's got around the back here. They've got some numbers. McDonald got away from Sutcliffe. Ball's still alive. Black, he left it behind. Could be a crucial error. That one over the line. They want North. They won't get it yet. Sutcliffe, Johnson, Subban, who we saw made an error just a moment or 2 ago, and that kick had to be precise. It was to Pearce. Now Mzungu. He's got Neil running for him. He had to get the football first. Well done, Atley. Here's Harvey, middle of the ground. He's on fire at the moment, Boomer. They move it through the middle. That was brilliantly done, Goldstein. They kept it running. And now Mullet receives the ball from Petrie. Runs to the 50. He kicks. It's a 3-point ball game. North keep coming at Patterson's.
Well, it's Subban at one end that drops an easy chest mark about 30 metres out, and then on that occasion the Kangaroos just clean ball movement. I mean, right now it's the side that makes the basic skill errors that are really failing him, and the Kangaroos are able to take it from one end of the ground to the other without a Fremantle player touching it.
Good representation by Drew Petrie right up. His work rate's been pretty good in his 250th game. Hasn't had a lot of it, the 11 disposals. But Wayne, you're spot on. The side who uses the ball more cleanly going forward will win this game.
Charging into the centre square, Greenwood, but he left it behind. Fife grabs it. Kicks hurriedly down towards half forward. Crozier tracks it. In fact, it's Sheridan just on the ground. So De Boer is the player who's come off, and that's a little surprising in its way. I was with Tommy. I thought the big fella might have come off.
Having a look there, this is the sort of treatment that Boomer has copped all night as Dawson gives him one a little bit high, but it hasn't worked, has it?
No, well, they need to make contact on Boomer around the ball. Forget about that stuff off it because he's just racking it up at the moment.
Johnson's got the football. 9 possessions in the turn for Boomer, 29 for the game. And Grimer growing in stature back there. That was a very good spring and mark.
And just another poor kick from Fremantle, just bombing it in.
Fremantle in desperate trouble here. The subs on the ground, and Clark really hasn't been a contributor tonight. Very promising young ruckman, but he's not a key forward. Not yet anyway. Here's Zeeble. 3 points the difference, approaching 3/4 time. Del Santo can go across the ground, and he does. McDonald feeling more comfortable in this environment. Greenwood, now he can go over the top to Mullet, and Mullet can run at the defence. Mullet spots a man. Well, Sheridan got himself into no man's land there. Bastanak, sweeping hand pass. Atley goes looking for Ferrito, missed the mark. Bad miss. Behind Spur. Good pressure came from Thomas, and then Ferrito. Under pressure, McFarlane. Gave it across to Clancy Pearce. In trouble is Spur. Too high, says the umpire, against Del Santo.
Very lucky there, Fremantle. So there's De Boer in the middle with the red vest on. His night is over. Matthew Pavlich just getting a breather. Big last quarter required from him. McFarlane runs around the back in front. Not quite the mark to Main, and then Crozier in trouble. He had McDonald right there with him. And the footy's not going to get out of there. So a 3-point ball game, a minute and 24 to play. In North Melbourne, they've been superb. Sandilands just about giving away a free kick. Pearce ran onto the football. The ruckman didn't touch it. Ball now front. Sheridan couldn't mark, and they'll run away with it again. Grimer goes with a long kick. Majak Daw the target. He got his hands to it, went to ground. Dawson knocked him over. Dawson left the football behind. Had time to recover. McFarlane, Sutcliffe, and the short one is on. The sub has got busy. Tommy Sheridan has the football on half-back, and Johnson is on.
Marks on the wing inside the last minute of the third term.
With Pavlich off, it really does highlight, unless now Sandilands trying to get to the drop zone.
Yeah.
There are no forward targets for Fremantle at the moment, none at all.
Well, Zach Clark has just had 5 possessions tonight. Sandilands has kicked 1 goal. In fairness, he's got his hands to the footy a few times, but hasn't been able to hang on bar once. There goes the kick by Ferrito, going back Johnson. Dawson smothered brilliantly by Adams, tracks it towards the boundary, rides a bump. And Harvey knew that Crowley was bearing down, so double-dared him, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
It really hasn't been a case of extreme pressure from the Kangaroos. It's just been a case of Fremantle not being able to execute basic skills. And you look at probably Fife, Mundy, and I think Pavlich at times, they've been the players that have been the cleanest for Freo. I think just about everyone else in their side has made, at some point, basic fundamental errors.
Hill has been quiet, coming up for his 13th possession. Takes something off this kick. Well done by Zach Clark. Strong mark. He's on the wing. Down to 4 seconds, so there won't be a score.
There's one there.
Either side. It was an untidy kick from Clark, marked by McDonald. It's 3-quarter time. Patterson Stadium. Anzac Day on a Friday night. Enjoying this game. It's very close, as you can see. North challenging strongly through that term, getting on top, but then Fremantle grabbing the lead back close to 3-quarter time. Stick around. This appears to be headed for a thrilling finish.